You have only two choices: accept the situation or change the situation.
Want to learn faster? Here are 5 quick tips to help you speed up your learning journey. Number 1, set clear goals. Know what you want to learn and why. It keeps you focused and motivated. Number 2, be active in your learning. Do things, practice, and experiment. It helps you understand and remember better. Number 3, try different learning methods. Read, watch videos, take notes, and discuss with others. It helps reinforce your understanding. Number 4, be consistent and organized. Set a regular time for learning, create a schedule, and keep track of your progress. Number 5, ask for feedback and reflect on your learning. It helps you improve and adjust your approach. Remember, learning doesn't have to be slow. Use these strategies and unlock your potential for fast and easy learning.
Buying a house? Shut your mouth. Buying a new car? Shut your mouth. Getting married? Shut your mouth. Going on a holiday? Shut your mouth. Got promoted? Shut your mouth. 99% of the time, the reason that our dreams doesn't come true when they are supposed to is because we open our mouth too soon to the wrong people at the wrong time. We were wrong to share our successes with people who claim to be friends. Remember, the envy and jealousy is enough for people to feed off and tear you down. So shut your mouth.
This took me 9 years to learn, but I will teach you in just a minute. Number 1, train yourself to let people win arguments, on purpose to conserve your mental health. Number 2, most people are stuck in toxic relationships because they are afraid to be alone. Number 3, if you continue to wait for the right time, you will waste your entire life and nothing will happen. Number 4, you don't need 100 self-help books. All you need is action and self-discipline.
7 negative effects of social media. 1, depression and anxiety. 2, cyberbullying. 3, online harassment. 4, privacy concerns. 5, reduced face-to-face interactions. 6, sleep disruption. 7, impact on productivity.
I heard Jeff Bezos say one time when he was talking, he said he makes his investment based on if it's going to change people's lives. And once I started doing that strategy, I think I probably quadrupled what I'm worth now.
5 signs you are losing again. Number 1, lack of motivation. Number 2, negative attitude. Number 3, inability to learn from mistakes. Number 4, lack of personal growth. And number 5, social isolation. 5 rules of fighting. Number 1, never move back in a straight line. Number 2, make deep eye contact, terrify him. Number 3, don't hesitate to start first. Number 4, don't ignore his movement, not even a bit. Number 5, always step for the abdomen and jaw. 5 body language tips to be more confident. Number 1, get your hands out of your pocket while walking. Number 2, always hold your head high. Number 3, never forget eye contact. Number 4, stand or sit while taking up more physical space. Number 5, don't smile too much. Speak slowly and deliberately. 6 things to do in your 20s. Number 1, choose who you spend time with. Number 2, take your work seriously. Number 3, improve your communication skills. Number 4, find different ways to earn more money. Number 5, don't be afraid to express your emotions. Number 6, travel as much as you can. 7 signs you are a strong male. Number 1, show no emotions. Number 2, fearless. Number 3, always ready for fight. Number 4, observe more. Number 5, run for only your goals. Number 6, don't chase girls. Number 7, calm in every situation.
I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe. And I dated it Thanksgiving 1995. And I put it in my wallet and I kept it there, and it deteriorated and stuff. And but then just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber. Maybe.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah.
Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. When someone tells me it's impossible, I always just look at anybody around me knows that they can't do that. So that's part of it. But if they didn't know me, it's your opinion. And they'll say, no, science shows. And I say, yeah, and how many times has science showed something's impossible? Now science shows it's possible. Things are impossible till somebody does it.
Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail. People don't see that, and people will never understand that to be success. You know, all they think about, well, he batted 202. and you struck out a certain number of times. Yeah, okay. But the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything.
I just had a dream to become something. That's the thing about dreaming. Just 8 years ago, I was crossing the Mediterranean to make it from Africa to Europe. Then I was homeless in Paris, sleeping in the street. If you believe in yourself, you can be your own hero or hero to somebody else. Keep dreaming, keep fighting.
There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams.
Love is passion, obsession, someone you can't live without. Fall head over heels, find someone you can love like crazy and who'll love you the same way back. Because the truth is, there's no sense living your life without this. To make the journey and not fall deeply in love, well, you haven't lived a life at all. But you have to try, because if you haven't tried, you haven't lived.
Stop being driven by rewards. Stop being driven by outcomes. Stop being driven by, if I get this, I'm gonna do this. Just work. And if you don't get what you thought you were gonna get, show up and still go to work. Because along the process, what's more important, what you acquire or who you become?
When you see the famous people, wow, so successful, you don't know behind the story, how tough they are. Like people, wow, Jackie, the movie is so good. When everybody sleep, I still in the health club, in the mirror, practicing. 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, get up on the set. Then you suddenly do something, wow, very beautiful. Oh yeah, go back, training again.
I just want to make a lot of money and tell people money is not everything for this life.
First you want to make a lot of money though, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you're going to get judged anyway. So why live for that being a metric of success or failure? Why let the judgment or opinions of others be the reason why you share or you don't? Because guess what? If that person's not paying your bills, if that person's not saving your life, if that person's not giving you coaching, mentorship, and spiritual growth, why does their opinion matter?
Right.
And that's how I've kind of found it in my life to move beyond judgment.
It's good to treat other people the way you would like to be treated yourself. It's like a golden rule, and there's a reason for it. And that reason is that we're connected in some strange way that we don't totally understand. And unless you are good to other people around you, unless you're kind and friendly and warm and loving, you're not going to enjoy this life. You're just not. You're going to be problems everywhere you go. You're going to have problems everywhere you go. You got to figure out a way to enjoy this life.
After the season, usually there's a time period where Michael takes some time off. The night they lost to Orlando, I said, Michael, I'm about to get out of here. Let me know when you want me to see you, because I'll see you tomorrow. Michael had an obligation to himself, the fans, his teammates, the organization, his family, everybody. He said, if you're gonna sit down and take 3 hours out of your day to watch me on TV, I have an obligation to give you my best. To give you my best all the time.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Every single human being has value, and my value is not determined on how I look or what job I have. or where I'm from, where I was born, how much money, all that stuff is nothing. So many teenagers, tease each other for how we look, and I tell the teenagers, do you think that I'm cool enough to be your friend? They're like, yeah, of course. I said, but I have no arms, no legs. They said, doesn't matter. I said, really? So it doesn't matter that I have no arms, no legs? He said, no, it doesn't matter. I said, then actually, if it doesn't matter, then why do we kill each other with our words if it actually doesn't matter? Why do we look ourselves in the mirror and see ugly instead of valuable? I want to ask you today, what are you looking for?
I have an insane belief in my own ability to manifest things. Insane belief. That I think it's ultimately complete sanity. But I believe we're creators, and I believe we create with every thought and every word. Every moment is pregnant with the next moment of your life.
What I realized about myself was, the reason I won and I'm good is I've never played in the vortex. I've never played in the actual rules of life. I was an F student when every immigrant was supposed to be an A student because education was the way out. I launched an e-commerce wine business in 1996. I've always done things that don't make sense. I play outside of the actual game, and that has been where all my happiness has come from. And so many things have become obvious to me by playing outside of the rules.
When you're comfortable, you are at most danger. The comfort zone is somewhere you should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. Anybody ever tell you, hey, look, you know what? Just be satisfied with what you got. Don't believe them. Get them away from you. That's good. You should never be satisfied with what you got. Because the attempt to get more makes you into something better all the time.
You are unusually fearless and willing to go in the face of other people telling you something is crazy.
Well, first of all, I'd say I actually think I feel fear quite strongly. So it's not as though I just have the absence of fear. I feel it quite strongly. But there are just times when something is important enough, you believe in it enough that you do it in spite of the fear.
Stephen Curry will go down in history as the greatest shooter that the NBA has ever seen. And it's not by accident, and it's not by luck, and it's not because his dad played in the NBA. It's because he's willing to hold himself to an unparalleled standard. And that is the thought that I'll leave you all with, that the standards that you set today, they'll determine who and where you'll be tomorrow.
You need to be clear what it is you really want. I always tell people, know not only what you want, but why you want it. I know this is simplistic, but most people just don't do the blocking and tackling of their life. The one we were talking to earlier, a great lady, and you could just see she wants to have a new business, but she never sat down to even put a plan together and says, why aren't I taking action? Well, when you're not sure what you're going to do, you're going to hesitate. And hesitation kills momentum. And momentum is what makes a sports team win. It's what makes an athlete, a business person win. When you get momentum, it's like takes enormous energy to get a rocket out of our gravitational pull of the earth. But out of the solar system's easy. Once it has momentum, it takes less fuel, less energy. Starting a relationship, starting a business, changing your body, it takes so much in the beginning. But once you get going, it's actually really easy.
Knowledge isn't power, it's potential power. And it's only powerful when it's applied, as you've said. I actually think the separator for people who apply and don't apply is ego. I really think I don't know everything. Ego is fear. Ego applies itself in lots of different ways, but probably the fact that you're not applying what you're learning is ego related in some way.
Here's what I've learned though. I think the people that have made those mistakes and that have went through those crazy changes within this business are people that have put themselves in a position to not grow. I think you go through it at one point, but then you go, oh, this is bad. I messed up one time. I don't want to mess up again. I went through my period. I got my DUI. I was out. I was drunk every night. I was chasing different women every day of the week. I did that. I saw that it got me nowhere, and then I got focused, and I saw where getting focused got me. So why go backwards? You're supposed to progress. You're not supposed to digress. The man that I am today is a much more developed man than I was yesterday, and I just don't see myself wanting to ever lose that. I want to continue to be a dope example for where people can look at it and go, wow, look where he came from, look at where he is now. I got too many goals.
As a child, my parents always told me you could be whatever you want to be. You could do whatever you want to do. And that office, that position, the highest office on the face of the earth, It was something I heard my parents saying it, but I didn't totally believe it. Yet I went out in the world and I carried myself and I held my head high and I stood there and I looked people in their eyes and I talked to people as if I was deserving of everything that this planet has to offer. To children out there and to people who are watching, Confucius said one time, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
My hero, that's who I chase. Now, when I was 15 years old, I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, who's your hero? And I said, I don't know, I got to think about that. Give me a couple of weeks. I come back 2 weeks later, this person comes up and says, who's your hero? I said, I thought about it. You know who it is? I said, it's me in 10 years. So I turned 25 10 years later. That same person comes to me and goes, so are you a hero? And I was like, not even close. No. She said, why? I said, because my hero is me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero's always 10 years away. I'm never going to be my hero. I'm not going to attain that. I know I'm not. And that's just fine with me because that keeps me with somebody to keep on chasing.
It's just a matter of what's important to you. And what's important to you. For whatever reason, you know, I felt like I didn't feel good about myself if I wasn't doing everything I could to be the best version of myself. If I felt like I left anything on the table, it would eat away at me. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. Right? So the reason why I can retire now and be completely comfortable about it, because I know that I've done everything I could to be the best basketball player I could be. And so that's where it comes from for me. You can't leave any stone unturned.
They get comfortable with a win. People can get comfortable with a win, and slack off then. Slack off on the training. Slack off on the diet. They've won one. They're winners now. That's not me. You know, you sleep on a win and you'll wake up with a loss. So I just carry on.
You should never ever be embarrassed by those struggles. You should never view your challenges as a disadvantage. Instead, it's important for you to understand that your experience facing and overcoming adversity is actually one of your biggest advantages.
You ain't never gave 100%. And in order to knock on the door 100 times, you're going to have to get 120. Get up out of here. You can't do this. And you're going to have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new.
Well, it's dedication and hard work. This is my words, to dedicate myself 100% every time to be the position that I am today. It's not 1 year, it's 10 years, 12 years, you know, to maintain my level. It's making me feel proud. You have to dedicate yourself 100%. It doesn't mean how many hours you're training, but the way you're training, your dedication. You can have a training only 1 hour, but you give everything for that to achieve your goals. So this is what I try to do. This is make me feel proud, and I will continue to work hard to maintain that level.
It's easy to romanticize hard work, but the reality of hard work is that it is what it is, and it sucks, and it's nonstop. There is no off switch. And you know, like I don't need to work hard. Like, we could leave expensive New York City and move somewhere more cost effective, and I could do nothing but watch TV for the rest of my life. And I can say that at age 37, and that's a huge privilege. But instead I work 20 hours a day because I love every second of it.
Knowing what it is about you that is infectious and being able to convey that to people as soon as you meet them is so important. Being memorable and making an impact is so important. You know, that's true for so many different lines of work, and not just like as an actor, but you have to do things to stand out. You can't play by the rules. And I think that, yeah, just knowing that you're good enough and making sure that you stay on that path to be that person.
You have to work on yourself, and you have to have an unstoppable attitude, and no excuse is acceptable, and you've got to make it a priority, a non-negotiable in your life, and hold a constant vision of what it is you want to achieve. See it accomplished and go all out. Find a way to win. In spite of the setbacks, in spite of the disappointments, in spite of your failures.
You really have to be very, very, very stingy with your time. Don't waste it on people that aren't like-minded Don't waste it doing things that you know are not part of your dream plan. Don't waste time being bitter, which I know I've been argumentative. I understand the meaning of hate, because in the end, it's just waste your most valuable asset, time.
It's easy to embrace hopelessness when things seem insurmountable, and yet it's actually just a matter of time until all of the elements come together for things to be all right. I mean, I believe that, you know, most difficult situations will resolve themselves if you are persistent and if you don't give up entirely. And that's what I never did. I never gave up.
Man, you just gotta stay real to yourself. You know, don't ever try and follow the trends. That's when you get lost in the sauce, man. You gotta do what you feel, man, and be creative, and don't be scared to be yourself, and always keep that faith. You know, I've been in the darkest times of my life, man, where I didn't know what was gonna happen, or was flat broke. Anything you could think of, man, I done been through it, and like, you know, you gotta be strong enough to make it through, and it just makes it that much sweeter when everything starts going right. You appreciate it way more, man, so yeah.
I think the greatest of people that have ever been in society, they were never versions of someone else. They were themselves. You don't think about Michael Jordan, the basketball player, and say, oh, he was just like this other player. No. You don't even say he was like this player plus that player divided by 2 plus this. No. He's Michael Jordan. I think the greatest of people in society carved niches that represented the unique expression of their combinations of talents.
We all have varying degrees of loss and sadness and pain in our lives, and it's a necessity, honestly, because then how would we appreciate the good times and the hopeful times and all of the abundance that life has, if you go and grab it. But it's a personal choice to get up and move on and be better.
If you can go through this pain period, you make it to be a champion. If you can't go through, forget it. And that's what most people lack, is on this having the guts to go in and just say, I go through and I don't care what happens. You know, it aches, and if I fall down, I have no fear of fainting in a gym, because I know it could happen. I threw up many times while I was working out, but it doesn't matter, because it's all worth it.
These are words to remember when anyone tries to tell you to give up, tell you to give in, because whatever you're trying to do is impossible. Impossible is just a word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. I'm here to say you will make mistakes along the way. You will fall down. I have, many times. But what we do after that fall is how we make history, because impossible is nothing.
Life's about self-discipline. It is about self-discipline. We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is it builds no mental toughness, it builds no mental hardening, it builds nothing. When you working out is where you can build that the fastest. Because it's a constant, it gives you instant feedback. Yeah, you may not lose the weight you want to real fast, but the discipline it takes, it transfers over to all aspects of your life. It's not, people, man, why are you always working out? Stop looking at it that way. This is the foundation of life.
For me, money is not my definition of success. Inspiring people is a definition of success. Doing things to the maximum. I want to change the definition of status quo. And that's what I want. I want my shoes. I want as many people to be able to have them as possible. Because in 100 years from now, everyone in this room will be dead. And what did you do while you were here?
My uncle always told me something early in my life which stuck with me, which is that while you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal. You know, because if you're just focused on some end goal, then you might get there, but it'll be hard to progress past that because you're so focused on that one destination that it's like, you know, you maybe forget everything in between, and maybe you could have done more in between. He always told me, like, just be here right now, live right now, and do the best you can right now. Don't worry about what that end goal is. It's great to have goals, it's great to have dreams, but it's just like you get too attached to it, and sometimes it can be a self-destructive thing. So, I mean, I just kind of try and progress as much as I can, like right now.
How willing are you to listen to that inner voice that no one else can hear? That little scurvy elephant in there that says, you're not the boss of me. You can't tell me what I'm here for. You have to, it takes a kind of fearlessness, because fear is such an omnipresent force in our lives. I do what I do because of the passion I feel. I am not here because of what you paid me to be here for. I am not here because of any need that I have to sell another book. I am not here for anything external to myself. I am here because I have a passion within me.
I'm sure all of you have been told that you don't have what it takes and that you may not be good enough and you don't have enough people supporting you, and you're being told all of these things, but deep down it's all you want to do. You want to be a part of something great. You want to make something great. And it does more than knock the wind out of you, it crushes you when people try to tell you that you're not good enough. And it almost did for me, but there was my mom next to me, stronger than ever, and she said the most important thing is to always trust in myself. If I'm doing something because I love it, I should do it because I love it, and I believe I can do it. Let the critics be critics, and let us just trust ourselves.
A lot of people out there chasing their dream, but their dream is to just be rich, and that's not a dream. You know, if you try to go out and just make money for the purpose of making money, first of all, you could end up in the wrong place due to it. You could be miserable, and then when you get it, if you don't have no goal on why you were trying to achieve this goal, you feel unfulfilled.
No matter what you face, no matter how bad it is going to be, when there is a challenge, anything that you're facing, the only way to overcome the challenges that you face is to start walking. Take that step every day, no matter what you are facing. Get up and start walking.
One of the main reasons that people don't get what they want is because they don't actually figure out what it is. And the probability that you're going to get what would be good for you, let's say, which would even be better than what you want, right? Because, you know, you might be wrong about what you want easily, but maybe you could get what would really be good for you. Imagine that you were taking care of yourself like you were someone you actually cared for. And then you thought, okay, I'm caring for this person. I would like things to go as well for them as possible. What would their life have to be like in order for that to be the case?
You have to make a decision what's important to you. Time to go out and do whatever, be whoever you are, help whoever you want to help, raise your family, whatever it is. Or do you want to create a world-class company? What is your goal? And you have to understand your goals, and there should always be a price. You know, if it is about selling at some point, what's the price? What is it that causes you to work 24 hours a day? What is it that causes you to dream about this company? What is it that gets you so fired up you can't think about anything else? What is it just that you just say, this is me, right? I am, you know, what is it that drives you?
You're born with talent. You know, it's like there's certain things that you just do naturally. You were gifted with a talent and you have it. But skill is acquired through discipline. And, you know, I've never seen myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is I'm willing to die in the process of acquiring skill, right? When I look at people and I see things, I don't feel like I can't. Whether or not I will is something different, but I don't ever feel like I can't.
Question for yourself. What is impossible? Never accept the limitations of someone else. Somebody told you that it's impossible. Don't even try. Give up. before you even fucking try it for yourself. Never accept the goddamn limitations that someone else has placed upon you. Decide for your fucking self what is your limitation. Try it, you son of a bitch. Try it for your fucking self. Then that is the only fucking way to know if you can or can't do something.
You can love someone and still choose to say goodbye to them. You can miss a person every day and still be glad that they're no longer in your life.
There's no losing, only learning. There's no failure, only opportunities. And there's no problems, only solutions. So to me, what failure is the mother of all success. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan getting cut from his 9th grade basketball team, he wouldn't have became Michael Jordan. You got people like Walt Disney, who got fired, if I'm not mistaken, from a newspaper saying he had no imagination. You know that all they can do is learn and come back bigger, better, stronger, because all it's gonna do is lead you in the right direction. See, if you're always winning, then you don't really understand what it is to win.
This is the gap when we start. This is the gap as you grow. Notice how you grow and they don't. So how do you close the gap? You gotta come back down. When you come back down, you lose. So you gotta keep going up. That's why closing that gap gotta be them catching up to you. And if they don't catch up, you gotta leave them behind. Because you getting to the point now where you gotta start cutting out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't look back when you cut them out. Because if they meant to be there, they're gonna be there.
My number one message to entrepreneurs, and I teach today, is never pursue entrepreneurship for the greed of money. It has nothing to do with it at all. The whole reason to be an entrepreneur is the pursuit of freedom. That's why you do it. You do it because you want to be free one day to do whatever you like. I'm here because I want to be here. I don't have to be here. I don't even have to ever listen to a phone call again if I don't want to. That's not what I want to do. I enjoy spending my time doing the things that I want to do.
Oh, relationships are tough. No, they're not. They're only tough when one person's working on it. That's right. 2 people can move a couch real easy. One person can't move it at all. Stop competing. It's not a fucking competition. Her success is your success, and your success is her success. There is no equality in a relationship. You're both there to serve. You are in the service industry, okay?
Make sure that you are talking to yourself in a way that is loving and supportive. It became clear to me at a certain point in my life, I realized that when I am in crisis, when I have quote unquote fucked up, my response is, you fucking idiot. Of course, what did you expect? If I spoke to my friends like I used to speak to myself, I would have no friends. If you do talk to yourself out loud, and I do, make sure that the words are loving and supportive and nourishing. Start the work of being your own best friend.
My name is Kobe Bryant, I'm 17 years old. I wasn't invited to parties or friendly gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go to my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be. It's a great feeling to know that you set a goal for yourself and you were able to reach that goal and to knock it down.
Winning's not loyal to you. It doesn't care about you. Winning doesn't care how sore you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work at times. And sometimes a guy doesn't outwork you and he still wins. It isn't fair, man. Sometimes there is no justice. Winning requires all of you and then more, and it promises you nothing. It's a mastermind of creating fear and doubt in your mind. It causes setback after setback. So the question is about winning. Are you willing to sprint when the distance is unknown?
Where you are now is just a reflection of your past thoughts, your past thinking. So if you want to change your future, you got to change your thoughts now and then put them into action ultimately.
You may have arms and legs, but unless you know 3 things. Number 1, who are you and what your value is? Number 2, what is your purpose here in life? And number 3, what is your destiny when you're done here? If you don't know the answers of any of those 3 questions, you're more disabled than I.
Last but not least, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. Snoop Dogg, you a bad.
When I was 20, I was a garbage man. I worked the back of the truck, 22 square blocks. That's hard. Doing movies, there's nothing that we do in the movies that's hard.
I used to deliver for United Parcel Service on a truck.
Right.
That was hard.
Yeah.
This is a joke.
No matter what you've done, you have the right to be forgiven. I don't let nobody hold me to the mistakes I made. Look, man, once God forgive me, I'm through with you. You can feel how you want to feel about me, but you can't drive your car looking in the rearview mirror. See, you got to get your eyes off the past and look at where you're going.
If you want me to be the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy. If you want me to be the good guy, I'll be the good guy. But I have no problem being both. Sometimes it's better to be the bad guy, because then you know really what the person think about you. Because when they say they like you, you don't know if they like you. But when they say they hate you, then you know they really hate you. But I make haters become my fan. That's my problem. So I need more haters.
When I was born, the doctors told my parents that I would be dead within the first 24 hours of my life. 35 years later, all those doctors are dead, and I am the only doctor that remains. Never believe a prediction that doesn't empower you.
Only the disciplined ones are free in life. If you are in discipline, you are a slave to your moods. You are a slave to your passions. The best time to plant a tree was 25 years ago. The second and the best time is today.
I didn't have an easy experience. I didn't come in as a top-rated recruit. I didn't come in with the opportunity to play right away. I had to earn it. And you know what the greatest honor I've ever received as a player is? In my 4th year and my 5th year, I was named team captain. That, to this day, is the single greatest achievement I've ever had as a football player. Because the men in this room chose me to lead their team.
When you seek revenge, you destroy yourself. And that's the paradoxical conflict that we all live in. Someone has mistreated us. We want revenge, but if we take it, we hurt ourselves more. The only answer is loving kindness. And most of us don't want to hear that. It's like, I'll take my chances with revenge.
The reason why grandmama's cooking was so good, because she didn't cook Sunday dinner, Sunday evening, she started Saturday night. She let it marinate overnight, that's why it was so good. The reason why your gift is not like all these other gifts that are so microwavable is because God's put something in you that is too great. And you gotta know that what's inside of you is so great that it's taking a little bit longer, because God did not call you to be microwavable.
Einstein said that if you cannot tell your goal to a 6-year-old child and have the 6-year-old child explain it to another 6-year-old child and both of them understand it, then you don't know what your goal is yourself. So ask yourself, is your goal so clear that you could tell it to a 6-year-old child and the 6-year-old child would not only understand what the goal, but could tell you how close you are to it?
A lot of people would look at someone in my position right now and think, she's really got her shit together, you know? Like, she's really on it, like, she's got it all. And as far as like my personal life goes, I really have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And I just want to say that if you're someone out there who has no idea what this next chapter is gonna bring, you're not alone in that.
God didn't promise us a problem-free life. We ain't never gonna have that. You're never gonna experience life and feel like, you know what, everything is good all the time. But there has to be something inside of you, even right now today, that decides you're gonna win no matter what. No matter what comes at you, no matter what was already said about you, no matter if you don't have your parents, no matter if you don't have family, you have to know and decide today, right now, that you are going to be one of the ones in this room that wins.
First we shine the shoes, then we own the shoe shops. First we make the sandwiches, then we own the restaurants. First we clean the houses, then we own every house on the block. And then we believe in ourselves, we work hard, we take full advantage of the American dream and the opportunity. And then we end up with a Hollywood star on the block in Los Angeles. Play with it.
Peter,
don't work hard for it. Well, me and my brother, we work hard for our stuff. It don't come easy. In life, you have to work. Either you want to be the shark of the ocean or the fish of the ocean. And right now, we want to be the shark. Take over everything. Strength, no weakness. Power, you must have to have that mindset. So you're going to come in here and dominate.
My high school English teacher, Mr. Fisk, I actually paid attention one time in class. And he said, he had this beautiful quote, and it read, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now. I have a dream, sacrifice for it, and never ever rest in the middle.
The fact that I'm gonna die one day and that everyone around me is gonna die and no one will remember me after a certain point makes me feel so good. Like, cause I could do the best thing in the world and nobody would remember it ever, and I'll die and it won't matter, and everyone else around me will die and it won't matter. Or I could do the worst thing in the world and that won't matter because I'll die eventually. So you don't really have to worry that much.
I want you guys to be all in. Yeah. I want you to be all in. Yeah. That's what Coach Sweeney said. Yes, sir. And the only disability in life is a bad attitude. Yeah.
One thing I learned in life.
I'm dead, I'm in heaven, you're God. I imagine it was a big long line and you got judgment. David, congratulations, you made it to heaven, how you feel? And right now I'm a 300-pound man. You pull the paper down, it says David Goggins, I'm reading it. And it has my name, but on this paper it says everything about you. Everything, because God knows all. 185 pounds, Navy SEAL, changed people's lives, all these amazing things. I look at God and say, God, the name is right, but what's on here is not me. He goes, it should have been you. This was the life that you were supposed to live, but you didn't try. So this is the life that you have.
I'm alone and look at me. There's nobody around me. Nobody likes me, man. It is what it is. Sometimes in life, people are not going to be around you to motivate you. They're not going to be around you to push you, to celebrate you, to applaud you. You got to do it on your own. That's what I'm doing right now.
Life is short and it's fragile, and we don't know how many birthdays we have. So we don't have to have a birthday to celebrate. Just celebrate life. And if you haven't told someone you love them, do it now. Do it. Tell people you love them. Call your friends, text your friends, hug them, kiss them.
You see, if you never heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on people who never cut you. I gotta be honest with you, when it comes to relationship pain and when it comes to heartbreak, it's a drive-through only matter. You can't go around it, you can't avoid it. The only way to get over it is to actually face it and drive through it.
Losses are part of life. I've lost in kickboxing, I've lost in boxing, I've lost in life. I've lost in love, I've lost in family. Like, life is, you don't just win all the time. It's wins and losses. So you roll with the punches, pun.
You don't trust that someone's never going to betray you. You just trust that you'll be able to handle it if they do. That you'll be able to walk away. That's a massive key to it. Stop worrying about whether you can trust someone else. Maybe you can't. We don't know that. Only time will tell if you can trust somebody else. That is a pointless waste of your energy to worry about. Worry only about yourself.
You got 24 hours in a day. 8 hours you sleep, and most people work a 9 to 5. So 8 hours you're working. Okay, so we had 16 hours. You got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we had 19? Take you an hour to get ready. So we had 20 hours. So you guys cannot spend 4 hours going talking about, oh, they lying, oh, I like this photo, oh, they faking, sending photos to other people. Y'all got to get focused. I'm where I'm at because I'm focused. Tunnel vision. I'm focused on what I got to do. Y'all got to have a game plan.
If you didn't make it in your 20s, you can make it in your 30s. And if you didn't make it in your 30s, you can make it in your 40s. And if you didn't make it in your 40s, you can make it in your 50s. And just remember Grandma Moses. She was a painter. And she didn't start painting until, I think, in her 80s. And one of the most prolific painters.
Never too late.
Never too late.
Never
So have fun. That's what it's all about.
High-performance people fly like eagles. Eagles fly alone. Zuckerberg has no mates. Elon Musk has no mates. Steve Jobs had no mates. Bill Gates has no mates, and I can go on and on and on and on. They don't hang, they don't chill, they don't go to the Super Bowl, they don't go to the World Cup, they don't go to Wimbledon. All they do is work. I fall into that category.
Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. The Bible says, he who loves to sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon you like a thief in the night. I'm gonna ask you one question, I'm gonna go. How many of you in here know somebody who loves to sleep? Let me ask you something. AJ Poe?
It is a sure sign that you're going to end up in a great place when you give great detail to little things. Excellence doesn't start when the lights come on. Excellence doesn't start when the crowd gathers. Excellence doesn't come when everybody's watching. Excellence is nurtured in mediocrity. If you cannot manage the little things, you'll never be able to manage the big things. If the little things overwhelm you, if you complain and collapse about little things, you'll never be ready for the greater things that God is about to do in your life.
Here's how you know if someone's your friend. You can tell them bad news, and they'll listen. They won't tell you why, you're stupid and why that bad thing happened to you and how something worse happened to them once and, derailed the whole conversation. You can actually tell them bad news and they'll listen. This is a weirder thing. You can tell them good news and they'll help you celebrate. And that's a really good way of deciding who you should have around you.
Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. And that's priceless to me.
But I'm here because
I don't care. You enjoy having a man be able to tell you fired? Okay, let me ask you a question. So you're being selfish. Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you can pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think? Yeah, all right, but don't you have to wake up at 4 in the morning? Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there, Dash, or whatever your last name is, instead of somebody else's? My pride is in my children. If that's not what you hustlers for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you.
As soon as the car left the driveway of the school, I said, I'm moving to New York and I'm going to be an actor. And my mom paused for probably a half a second and she said, great, go do it. The only thing I ask you is in 2.5 or 3 years, if you don't have any sense that this is going to happen, you have to make me one promise. And I said, what? And she said, you got to pull yourself out because as your mother, you can't ask me to tell you to give up on your dreams. I said, that's so profound and yes, fair. Cut to 2.5 years later, I was like, so I'm out. This is terrible. It's so scary. And she said, it's September. Just wait it out. Just wait till the end of the year. Don't give up just yet. I was telling her to come get me. And 3 weeks later, I got the office.
Don't post everything you think. Don't. Just don't. If you're watching this right now, if anybody is watching this, don't post your feelings. Don't do it to yourself.
Even if I do a good job, I always wonder, how I could have done it better. I rarely celebrate anything. And just for anyone watching this that's wondering how this happened, that's really the answer. It's being so unsure how you're getting it done that you just kind of keep going in the hopes of figuring out the formula. Just feeling so lucky and blessed that the fear of losing it keeps you up at night.
You get one life. And out that one life, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. And never being okay with where you are, because after every level is another level, whether you realize it or not. And I always wanted to see what was past the thing that I got. Yeah. I got here, but what was back there? Yeah. I was never content with being here.
I used to work at a car wash. I made $30 a day from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. So they basically let you know you got to live off your tips. So you got to really go hard. And so I used to let them know I'd do anything for you. I'll wash the car. If you leave me $20, I'll fill your tank up. If you left me with enough time, I'll put your cassettes in alphabetical order. I think that may be the small difference between the ones who really go get it and the ones who just talking.
I get 8 hours of sleep. I prioritize it. I am very focused on it, and for me, I need 8 hours of sleep. I think better. I have more energy. My mood is better. All these things. And think about it. As a senior executive, you get paid to make a small number of high-quality decisions, and they should just be as high quality as I can make them. Warren Buffett says he's good if he makes 3 good decisions a year.
Yeah, I have 2 rules.
Oh, okay.
Rule number 1, always have fun. Rule number 2, listen to rule number 1.
5 sign you are losing again. Number 1, lack of motivation. Number 2, negative attitude. Number 3, inability to learn from mistakes. Number 4, lack of personal growth. And number 5, social isolation.
Here are 5 quotes that can help you achieve your dreams. Number 1, believe in yourself. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Number 2, the only thing that stands between you and your dream is the will to try and the belief that it is actually possible. Number 3, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Number 4, dream big, work hard, be sure to win, and have the courage to fail. Number 5, if you don't work, your dreams won't come true.
5 rules of fighting. Number 1, never move back in a straight line. Number 2, make deep eye contact, terrify him. Number 3, don't hesitate to start first. Number 4, don't ignore his movement, not even a bit. Number 5, always step for the abdomen and jaw. 5 sign you are losing again. Number 1, lack of motivation. Number 2, negative attitude. Number 3, inability to learn from mistakes. Number 4, lack of personal growth. And number 5, social isolation. 5 things to master and become resilient. Number 1, acceptance. Simply acknowledge your thoughts. Number 2, stay calm. Pay attention to your emotions. Number 3, be authentic. Be true to yourself. Express what you feel. Number 4, be realistic. Bad things happen to you. Prepare for them. Number 5, trust in yourself. Be optimistic about your own abilities. 5 body language tips to be more confident. Number 1, get your hands out of your pocket while walking. Number 2, always hold your head high. Number 3, never forget eye contact. Number 4, stand or sit while taking up more physical space. Number 5, don't smile too much. Speak slowly and deliberately. 5 unspoken social rules. Number 1, don't call someone more than twice continuously, unless it's a really urgent matter. Number 2, always open the door for the person coming behind you. It doesn't matter if it is a guy or a girl. Number 3, when someone shows you a photo on their phone, don't swipe left or right. Number 4, don't fix a time without being punctual yourself. Number 5, respect different shades of opinions. Remember what's 6 to you will appear 9 to someone facing you. 6 things to do in your 20s. Number 1, choose who you spend time with. Number 2, take your work seriously. Number 3, improve your communication skills. Number 4, find different ways to earn more money. Number 5, don't be afraid to express your emotions. Number 6, travel as much as you can. 7 signs you are a strong male. Number 1, show no emotions. Number 2, fearless. Number 3, always ready for fight. Number 4, observe more. Number 5, run for only your goals. Number 6, don't chase girls. Number 7, calm in every situation. 95% of people failed 75 hard challenge. 5 things to do every day for the next 75 days. Number 1, take your 1 selfie every day. Number 2, read 10 pages of entrepreneurship books. Number 3, follow a diet plan. No alcohol, no cheat meal. Number 4, drink 4 liters of water daily. Number 5, work out 45 minutes daily. When you are serious about your life goals, be ready to alone, be ready to laughed, be ready to doubted, be ready to lose friends, and last, be ready to achieve success. Become a ghost for 6 months and do these 7 things. 1, throw yourself into pain. 2, cut out all the excuses. 3, find the beast within you. 4, train like a warrior. 5, make everything your fault. 6, eat like a king. 7, upgrade yourself and win.
How do you start from nothing when you are nobody? Number 1, make friends that are hungry and smart like you. Over the years, these friends will rise with you. Loyalty is power. Power is loyalty. Number 2, now choose people that have more power than you and serve them. If you help them, they help you. Number 3, focus on your first small success, which means you have more resources to make the next bigger success over and over. Number 4, if you make a decision, always use both. Your brain for the reason and your soul for intuition.
How to stop taking things personally. Number 1, realize that you can't please everyone. Number 2, realize that your self-worth depends on you. It doesn't depend on what others say about you. Number 3, know that you are not defined by your mistakes. Number 4, take comments and criticism in a constructive way. Ask yourself if there is any truth to it and what you can learn.
How to win anyone in life. Number 1, if someone insults you, pause for a second and look at them and say, "Are you okay?" Number 2, if you think someone is lying, look at their eyes and don't say anything. Number 3, if you are in an argument, keep your voice calm. Number 4, good posture increases confidence, spreads your body out and takes up more space. Number 5, your eyes dilate when talking to a person you love.
Meaning of friends. Fight for you, respect for you, include you, encourage you, need you, deserve you, stand by you, share with your best friend.
Meaning of life. L is for the lesson. Life is a lesson. We all learn in some or many other ways. I, inspiration. Life is about inspiring others to live better, wiser, and greater. F, faith. Everyone in life believes in something. Most importantly in God that we all can do something. E, enjoyment. Life is hard, yet it's an adventure. No matter how hard it is, we all need to enjoy this life.
Buying a house? Shut your mouth. Buying a new car? Shut your mouth. Getting married? Shut your mouth. Going on a holiday? Shut your mouth. Got promoted? Shut your mouth. 99% of the time. The reason that our dreams don't come true when they're supposed to is because we open our mouth too soon to the wrong people at the wrong time. We were wrong to share our successes with people who claim to be friends. Remember, the envy and jealousy is enough for people to feed off and tear you down. So shut your mouth. Which type of male you are. Number 1, alpha male, like an injured lion, deadly. Number 2, beta male, nice guy personality. Number 3, gamma male, loves to enjoy and responsible. Number 4, omega male, lazy and careless type of guy. Number 5, sigma male, calm, confident, mysterious. Signs you are dating a high-value man. Number 1, he is focused on his goals. Number 2, he keeps his promises. Number 3, he's always there for you when you need him. Number 4, he admires and respects you. Number 5, he stands up for you when you can't defend yourself. The art of self-respect. Number 1, if they don't invite you, don't ask to come. Number 2, don't call someone more than twice continuously. Number 3, never give advice until you are asked to. Number 4, never interrupt someone while talking. Be a good listener. 6 powerful ways to build your mental strength. 1, learn how to move on and let go. 2, stay firm on your principles and values. 3, embrace change. 4, happy thoughts, happy life. 5, allow yourself to make mistakes. 6, listen to your deeper self. If you want to understand people, learn this. Number 1, when people ask you what you do, they actually calculate how much respect you have to give. Number 2, the people who give the best advice are usually surrounded by the most problems. Number 3, when many people gather and make fun of someone, he mostly looks at the man he considers closest to his heart. Send this video to all your friends you care about.
5 golden rules of happiness. Number 1, forget the past and live in the present. Number 2, don't compare yourself with other people. Number 3, learn to let go. Number 4, do whatever you want to do. Number 5, move fearlessly with positivity. Always remember, if you want to be successful, learn from the other people's mistakes. Don't learn from the successful stories. 6 habits that damage your brain. Number 1, poor sleeping habits. Number 2, staying in the dark too much. Number 3, blasting your headphones on full volume. Number 4, social media addiction. Number 5, consuming too much sugar. Number 6, too much screen time. 7 negative effects of social media. 1, depression and anxiety. 2, cyberbullying. 3, online harassment. 4, privacy concerns. 5, reduced face-to-face interactions. 6, sleep disruption. 7, impact on productivity. Buying a house? Shut your mouth. Buying a new car? Shut your mouth. Getting married? Shut your mouth. Going on a holiday? Shut your mouth. Got promoted? Shut your mouth. 99% of the time, the reason that our dreams doesn't come true when they are supposed to is because we open our mouth too soon to the wrong people at the wrong time. We were wrong to share our successes with people who claim to be friends. Remember, the envy and jealousy is enough for people to feed off and tear you down. So shut your mouth.
This took me 9 years to learn, but I will teach you in just a minute. Number 1, train yourself to let people win arguments, on purpose to conserve your mental health. Number 2, most people are stuck in toxic relationships because they are afraid to be alone. Number 3, if you continue to wait for the right time, you will waste your entire life and nothing will happen. Number 4, you don't need 100 self-help books. All you need is action and self-discipline.
Want to learn faster? Here are 5 quick tips to help you speed up your learning journey. Number 1, set clear goals. Know what you want to learn and why. It keeps you focused and motivated. Number 2, be active in your learning. Do things, practice, and experiment. It helps you understand and remember better. Number 3, try different learning methods. Read, watch videos, take notes, and discuss with others. It helps reinforce your understanding. Number 4, be consistent and organized. Set a regular time for learning, create a schedule, and keep track of your progress. Number 5, ask for feedback and reflect on your learning. It helps you improve and adjust your approach. Remember, learning doesn't have to be slow. Use these strategies and unlock your potential for fast and easy learning.
You have only 2 choices: accept the situation or change the situation.